What is up, all my fellow Turbos? This is Steve Turbo of the Hyper Arcade Turbo Bros, and we're coming to you with Turbo Talks Wrestling. And today we're going to be giving our predictions for Payback 2016. So this is the show, this is the pay-per-view following up WrestleMania. This is where we're getting sort of all the new events that are going to be taking place over the next year starting, and we're going to go over our predictions for what we think is going to happen at this year's Payback. So we're going to go through the matches, starting with the WWE United States title kickoff pre-show match. Ryback versus Kalisto. If WWE wanted to give you any less of a reason to give a shit about the U.S. title, then this is it. For the third time in a row, the U.S. title is being defended on the pre-show. And against Ryback. I like Kalisto, I really, really do. But this match just seems so unimportant and so insignificant that I could really care less that it's happening in the first place. I have long said that the U.S. title just needs to be retired. I mean, it's too prestigious of a title to be, kind of really shoved off to the side like this. I really think this is a grand opportunity to introduce the Cruiserweight title back, and this would really benefit guys like Kalisto, guys like Neville when he comes back. But we're going to get right into the prediction. I think Ryback's going to win this one. I mean, they're not going to do a third match in a row just to have Ryback lose. At the same time, I know that Ryback isn't really satisfied with his position in the company right now and sort of being shoved off to the side. So it's really hard to say. This match could really go either way. Kalisto, I like the guy, but he has had the most unimportant U.S. title reign I think I've seen in a good while. I really can't. I don't know. Like, John Cena brought some prestige back. I already know that name. John Cena, kind of brought back a little bit of relevance and importance to the U.S. title. But since then, it really has just been pushed off to the side, and it really is sad to see that belt go that route. But I'm going to be honest, I see Ryback walking away with the U.S. title with this one. Again, it's not going to make it any more important. If anything, it might make it less important. But, count on Ryback walking away with the U.S. title at this one. I doubt anybody will really, truly care. So next up we have Baron Corbin versus Dolph Ziggler. Now, the problem with this match is that I don't think the setup has been quite enough. There hasn't been enough words between Ziggler and Corbin. There's been a lot of action, but that's about it. I almost forgot this match was even happening. That's the problem. I think Corbin, he had a strong debut at WrestleMania, winning the Andre the Giant Battle Memorial. I think that he had a pretty decent debut on Raw, but since then, I kind of forget that he's there. And Ziggler, same thing. I mean, this has been one of the more quiet matches going into Payback that I've seen. Naturally, I think this is all going to be a device to make Corbin look strong, and Ziggler, well, he's fading back into irrelevance, so you can pretty much bank that Corbin is going to be walking away with the win on this one. I think it's going to be a pretty convincing win at the same time. But the problem is that there just has not been enough to build this match up to make it truly exciting. It's just Baron Corbin being Baron Corbin and beating up on whomever. Dolph Ziggler just so happened to be the candidate. So, Dolph, I'm sorry, I love you, man, but you are fading back into the irrelevance from whence you came. And Corbin, well, I think what would benefit Corbin after this would be either feuding with Apollo Crews or feuding with a higher named face. I think that they need to do more. I think Baron Corbin is a better Roman Reigns, and that's not saying much, but I do see more potential in Baron Corbin as a upper mid-card heel than I do Roman Reigns being anything at all. So Baron Corbin definitely, I think, needs something to keep his momentum going after Payback. I think it would really benefit to have him, say, after the Kevin Owens-Sami Zayn feud is done, to have him go out and attack Sami Zayn or Apollo Crews or somebody who's on the upper mid-card would definitely help gain him some momentum. Speaking of Sami Zayn, we have Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. Now, these two always put on matches to remember. I mean, these two always work incredibly well together. This goes all the way back to NXT. And, I really do think that these guys are going to really steal the show, more or less. I really think that these guys are probably going to put on the best match of the night. I think that this is going to be easily the most memorable match coming out of Payback. I think this one's hard to call. It's always hard to call. I would say, based on track record, I see Zayn walking away with the win. I see Sami Zayn walking away with the win, or they could have Kevin Owens walk away with the win just to kind of keep this feud going, because it is an incredibly good feud. I really do wish that the Intercontinental title was part of this match. Unfortunately, that's just not the way it panned out. So I think that would have made this match more personal. I think it would have made the win more important for Sami, winning the Intercontinental title over Kevin, after Kevin, did what he did in NXT and cost him the title and caused probably the shortest title reign out of any NXT champion. I would have really thought that the Intercontinental title would have definitely made this all the more important, but that's just not the way it went down. So next on the card, we have Chris Jericho versus Dean Ambrose. Now, Dean needs this win. Dean needs this win. I'll say it once, I'll say it again, I'll say it twice, I'll say it again. Dean needs to win this match. His track record at pay-per-views over the past 6 months, hell, even before that, has not been good. Dean has lost more than he's won, and that's not by a close margin. He has lost way more matches than he's won. Dean is one of the most over guys in the company, with the exception of, say, AJ Styles. I mean, you take your pick, but, Dean is incredibly over with the fans, but I really feel like they are keeping him on simmer. I feel like they don't want him to outshine Roman Reigns as, the only active member of the Shield since Seth's out. They know that Dean, he can combust and he can, really light a fire. And I just don't think they want him to do that. It feels like they're really just smothering his flame. And I really, to keep him alive, they need to let him win against Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho does not need another win. We all know Jericho's role in the company right now, and that is to help other stars, which made Jericho's win at WrestleMania all the more confusing against AJ Styles. But I could talk for hours about the confusing decisions at WrestleMania. But Dean needs to win. WWE, please bill Dean to win this match, because if you don't, I don't know what else you can do with Dean at this point. I mean, the guy's golden on the mic, he's great in the ring, he's great with the fans, but you're not letting him win. And being over with the fans only does so much for a guy when you're not letting him win at all. And the biggest thing here is that Chris Jericho doesn't need the win. Dean needs the win. Come on, throw the guy a fucking bone. My God, throw the poor guy a bone. In my heart, I see Dean winning this match, but at the same time, WWE has made some real weird decisions recently. So, my heart tells me Dean, my mind tells me Jericho, because for some reason Jericho needs to go over, even though his role in the company is to help other guys get over at this point. I don't know. If there's anyone that's the best in the world at getting guys over, it's Jericho. If Jericho can't get you over, then nobody can. But Dean's already over, so my heart tells me Dean. Dean, I'm hoping for you, man. I'm really hoping you walk out of this one a winner. So next up, we got finals of the WWE Tag Team Tournament. Now, this has been incredibly exciting. A lot more exciting than I thought and less predictable than I thought. So we have Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy versus the Vaudevillians. Now, the rumor going into this match is that the Dudley Boys are going to cost Enzo and Cass the spot, and that's going to lead to a feud with them and the Dudley Boys. The Dudley Boys are going to put them over, thus solidifying, the already well over Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy on the main roster. It's solidifying their status as main roster guys. The Vaudevillains, though. Let me just start by saying that I love the Vaudevillains. I love their act. I love Enzo Amore, and I love Colin Cassidy even more. I love those. I love both teams in this match. The part where we are in this is that the Vaudevillains are not over, whereas Amore and Cassidy are very over. They are over as fuck. They are over. They are more over than any team well, except the New Day right now. The Vaudevillains beating Colin Cassidy and Enzo Amore, albeit unclean, will help them a little bit, I think. And I think allowing the Vaudevillains to talk a little more in a feud with the New Day will help them. So the Vaudevillains stand to gain a lot from beating Enzo and Cass, even though I don't want that to happen. I want Enzo and Cass to finally get a tag team championship because they never won it in NXT. But it's pretty obvious the way they're going to go. The Dudleys are going to come out, they're going to cost Enzo and Cass the match, thus setting up a feud. The Vaudevillains are going to go up against the New Day. New Day, I don't see them losing the titles until after they set the record for longest reigning tag champs. So the way this is all going to work, and not at the expense of Enzo and Cass right now, because they are just on a super hot streak. The Vaudevillains are going to go over. It's not going to be a clean win. Dudleys are going to cost them. This one goes to the Vaudevillains. I really do hope that the Vaudevillains gain something out of this. I really hope that, this, not only makes them look pretty strong, but I hope that, feuding with the New Day will help them get a little more time on TV. It'll get them a little more exposed to the public. It'll allow Aiden English to talk a bit more. Aiden's a great talker. He really is. He's really committed to his gimmick. Same with Simon Gotch. Both these guys are incredibly talented, and I really do think they deserve more than what they're getting right now. And that is saying something, considering that this is, this is going to go in their favor. But Vince doesn't have complete confidence in them. And, when that happens, it's going to be a rocky road. So I think that if they give the Vaudevillains a chance to shine, it'll be another tag team that is strong. And that is never a bad thing. I am happy that they went over the Usos. That is really awesome, and they beat them in convincing fashion. But I think the Usos are serving a different purpose right now, and that's why. So, Vaudevillains, walk away with this one. Alright, so next we have the WWE Women's Championship match. This couldn't be more predictable if it were... This is pretty predictable the way this is going to go. Current plans are that Charlotte is not going to lose the title until SummerSlam to Sasha Banks. That's basically the way it's all going down right now. Natty, I love to death. I think they've not really set this match up the best. This has really been an incredibly lukewarm setup after WrestleMania. It's kind of like they pushed Becky and they pushed Becky and they pushed Natalya off to the side, Becky and Sasha off to the side, and they, they're giving Natty her due, and I think that's awesome. I love Natty. I think she's an incredibly talented wrestler. I mean, obviously she comes from the Hart family. She deserves to be women's champion. But that's not the way it's going to go down. We're just going to get Natty. We're going to get Natty and Brett. Brett's not doing good right now, from what I understand. He's had wrist surgery, and he's really not enthusiastic to be there. He's just mostly doing it for Natty. Coming off of his, his cancer surgeries and all that, I was worried about Brett's his health conditions and all that. I was really worried about that. I do see an unclean finish for Charlotte again, because that just seems to be the way they're going with Charlotte. She's going for the dirtiest player in the game thing. The Flair swerve does need to stop at some point, just because you can only end so many matches in that way, to the point where it's just like, what's the point in even giving her heat anymore? Because it's just like, oh, really? Who saw that coming? Charlotte's coming out the winner. Charlotte will retain her women's championship all the way till SummerSlam, where she will drop it to Sasha Banks. So yeah, guys, women's championship matches are going to be fairly predictable, but these two should put on a pretty good match. They have before. If you go back to their Roadblock pay-per-view match, that was a really good match between the two. So if nothing else, we'll get a good match, and we'll get to see Bret the Hitman Hart. That's always awesome. So next up we have the WWE Intercontinental Championship, Cesaro versus The Miz. The Miz is a great heel. He's a great heel. Subpar wrestler, great heel. Maurice has been helping him. Maurice has been the best thing to happen to The Miz recently. I don't like the fact that Zack Ryder won the championship at WrestleMania, only to drop it to The Miz next night. That felt dirty, that felt cheap, that felt disgusting. I hated it, but so it is. Cesaro being in this match makes it all the more watchable. Cesaro is one of my favorite guys on the roster right now, and I think that he would benefit greatly from a Intercontinental title championship reign. The Miz, I don't see much of a point in keeping the belt around him. The thing is he is a very niche superstar, and I think that he isn't what I would keep as championship material. Cesaro, on the other hand, would be an incredible Intercontinental champion. He's a great guy in the ring. He's not a gifted talker. Let's not mince words. Cesaro, he's only a notch above Roman Reigns when it comes to the mic skills. At least, Cesaro can formulate cohesive sentences amidst his thick accent. But I really do see Cesaro coming out of this one looking incredibly strong. I'm going to give this one to Cesaro. I am going to give this one to Cesaro. Just because the guy deserves it. He's an incredible in-ring talent. And it's not going to be long before we see some kind of main event push. I would love to see a main event push for Cesaro. He deserves it. He's over with the fans. He's an awesome in-ring talent. I'm going to keep saying it. WWE, make it happen for this guy. Come on. Come on. And last but not least, AJ Styles versus Roman Reigns for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Okay. This one. The predictable outcome. Roman Reigns retains the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match. There is a 99.9% chance that Roman Reigns is going to retain this championship. Now, you guys know me. I'm no Roman Reigns fan. I can't stand the guy. I think he's a cancer to wrestling. That's just me. I know that's cruel. I know that's harsh. The dude is not good, and he's really holding the WWE back from getting into its golden age again. But here's the swerve. WWE is not stupid. They know that AJ Styles is one of the most over guys in the company right now. He's second in merch sales only to The New Day. The New Day are beating him out in terms of merch sales. Vince is incredibly happy with his performance. He's incredibly happy with the reception he's been getting as a face. He's incredibly happy with his merch sales. Vince is happy with AJ Styles. Vince is incredibly happy with AJ Styles. So I don't think they're going to have him lose clean to Roman Reigns because, again, the WWE makes some weird choices, but I know they are not that stupid to where they would have Roman Reigns pin the indie darling AJ Styles. I mean, come on. Triple H has to be the voice of reason or something in this in this whole thing. I think what is going to happen in this match, Gallows and Anderson are going to play a factor. They're going to interfere in the match near the end. They're going to beat the living crap out of Reigns, and then they're going to turn on AJ. Then Finn's going to come out and reveal that he's the mastermind behind this whole thing. We're going to see the WWE's version of the Bullet Club. I don't know what it could be called. I can only imagine they could call it Guns Blazing or Bullet Group or something. I don't know, something predictable. But Finn is going to come out and reveal that he's the mastermind behind it all. Reigns is going to look like a jackass because he's been, blaming AJ Styles for everything that's been happening to him, getting attacked by Gallows and Anderson, and it turns out AJ had nothing to do with it. This is going to garner sympathy for AJ because AJ's been telling the truth the whole time, and Reigns is going to look like a dick. Now, that's not the only outcome that could happen here. Another outcome that could happen is AJ is involved with the club. I mean, all of us indie fans know that AJ was involved with the Bullet Club in New Japan. That's no secret. So it could reveal that Gallows and Anderson come out, cost, somehow. Now, this is the most unlikely scenario, and I'm going to tell you this, guys, now. I'm going to tell you guys this now. Okay, so say this happens. Something happens. Gallows and Anderson come out to the ring. They're distracting the ref. And, AJ's getting them in the mix of it. Roman's in the corner. He's gearing up for a spear. AJ shoves the ref in front of himself. Roman spears the ref. Roman, the ref's down and out. Gallows, Anderson come in, beat the living crap out of Roman. AJ hits him with the Styles Clash. You know, all this is happening. The ref's, you know, dazed, confused. Another ref comes out, or something. Something's going to happen to where AJ wins the championship over Roman. Now, this is the most unlikely scenario. Again, I don't believe that this is going to happen, but it's a possibility. AJ Styles pins Roman Reigns. 1, 2, 3. AJ Styles is your new WWE champion. Aligning himself with Gallows, Anderson, and Finn Balor, and going full Bullet Club. Again, unlikely. I really don't think AJ's going to be a part of the club. I really don't think so. Vince is too satisfied with his status as face right now. The only other possibility that is going to happen is that Finn comes out during the match and costs Styles the championship along with Gallows and Anderson. And that sets up a huge feud between AJ Styles and Finn Balor. Roman walks away with the champion. Nobody looks bad out of this. I mean, Roman looks bad regardless because he's just terrible. But AJ, setting up AJ and Finn for a feud, you know, and they could, you know, delve into some things from the past. I think that's honestly the way they're going to go with this. Somehow, some way, the Bullet Club is going to get involved in this match, and they're causing interference or disqualification in some way. Roman Reigns will not pin AJ Styles clean if they are smart. If they are smart, they will not do that. Otherwise, you are hammering the final nail into the coffin for Roman Reigns. You will never get him over. You will have more vile vitriol and venom on him from hardcore fans than you ever did before if you have Roman Reigns clean AJ Styles. Clean AJ Styles. Clean that hair. If you have Roman Reigns pin AJ Styles clean. That is exactly what will happen. Oh boy. So guys, those are my predictions for WWE Payback 2016. Let me know what you think. Are they kind of like yours? Are you feeling it? Let me know in the comments section below. Let me know what your predictions are and who you think is going to walk away champions on Sunday. And let me know what you think of the possibility of Finn Balor debuting at Payback and what role he will play in the championship match. Could our dreams come true and AJ Styles become champion? I doubt it. Not now. Not now. AJ will be champion at some point. Not right now. I love AJ. I hate Roman Reigns, but Roman's walking out of Payback champion. That's just obvious. It's so obvious it doesn't even make me mad. So guys, thank you all for watching. Go ahead and subscribe to our channel, and we will be back with our reactions to Payback tomorrow night, so make sure you stay tuned. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.